The Buzz, Australia's only live, interactive social media program on free-to-air TV, is proudly brought to you by z03e13, Australia's award-winning provider of on-demand IT infrastructure for businesses that want reliability, speed and flexibility.
Actually haven't even opened the lid of my laptop. Tonight, train vandalism, #Prism, Beyond Blue, what it takes to make me a sandwich, and a big yellow duck.
A Beyond Blue making you a sandwich.
Preferably.
I'm feeling a bit sad.
That's the way I like it.
Oh, what I need is a sandwich.
Right. Hello, Paul Cook, by the way. And also hello to Candice.
Hello, I've got a good feeling about tonight, guys. We're in for a good show, I reckon.
I think we might just be yes. Now, a big thank you to z03e13, one of our major sponsors, for helping us get to air. We really appreciate it. And Azura Gelati, we've not heard from you for a little while and we want some more ice cream, so you need to get in touch.
He was tweeting about his ice cream a little earlier on this evening, so #The Buzz to join in the tweetorama that is The Buzz.
And we are live and local. And when we say live, we're not on a 7-second delay. We are live to air. So if you tweet through, we'll try and get those on air as well. Now, if you were on the train and you saw some idiots spraying graffiti, would you be brave enough to film them? This guy was.
Guess what, matey? You're gone. Guess where this is going, boys? Straight to Crime Stoppers. And serious, get some cred about you. That is ugly as. No, I'm following you. You're coming. Wait, get off me, bro. Get off. Wait. No.
I have to admit, there is a lot of graffiti that I do really like, but that tagging stuff, that's just ridiculous. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Tagging is the human equivalent of a tree being pissed on by a dog. I just wanted to smell like me. I just wanted to look like me.
It's ridiculous. It's childish.
Beautiful quality art with a compass on a glass window or a black texture, isn't it? Kind of needs something a little more refined and a bit of an artistic feel about you.
Yeah. So
the
taggers,
guy, whoever
morons.
he is, I mean, he followed those. If you watch that video, he followed those out, grabbed onto the guy, said, "I'm calling the police now." So
that's brave.
Reasonably brave, because there was 2 or 3 of them there.
At least, yeah. All right, talking about idiots, the Janoskians in the news. #Janoskians if you'd like to see more. Apparently, wanking in front of youngsters.
We're not going to show the video, and I think it's probably a wise thing because it's reasonably stupid and tasteless. These look like they're a bunch of guys. They're going to be dumped, it seems, by Sony, their record company. They're called a boy band, but they also do a whole lot of videos, kind of prank videos. And it's gained them some notoriety around the world. One of the latest ones was them pretending to masturbate in shopping centres. I think it was somewhere in Europe. By putting a towel over themselves and then laying in front of an escalator and making old ladies kind of shuffle around them. One of the more controversial scenes involved a baby in a pram.
Right.
One of them coming up with said towel over his privates, pretending to masturbate and saying how attractive the child was. Little Britain's comedian Matt Lucas, who the boys say they were copying a similar stunt from his show, called it repulsive and witless. Witless is the word. And family groups have described it as highly offensive. If you've seen it, it was just a bit stupid.
I mean, look, we've all seen offensive humour, and in certain circumstances it can be quite funny.
Some of my favourite humour is really offensive.
Yet, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere, and that is potentially a real, genuine sexual offence.
Well, I think, too, had it been 50-year-old guys doing it, it would have been terrible, horrible, outrageous, and it was in a shopping centre in front of children, in front of people who may have different sensibilities than you or I, and completely inappropriate. Do it in a nightclub and they would have got the shit smashed out of them by somebody who would have taken offence.
Absolutely.
So picking soft targets I don't think is clever.
Janoskian's gone wild.
Hey, what's so wrong with the old stuff they used to do, or the stuff that they've previously done, like singing random love songs to old ladies on the train to see reactions? That kind of stuff is harmless and quite funny and hadn't been done before. One stunt that I saw, they were wearing a fluoro vest and seeing what they could get away with, when it comes to asking people to untie their shoelaces and things like that. That's funny, that's witty, and it's really, it's victimless and harmless. This stuff's just tasteless.
Well, speaking about things that do have victims and that are completely stupid, Candice, tell us a little bit about this thing that's in the news at the moment called Prism.
Yeah, it's on all the major news sites at the moment, and it's certainly a bit of a cause for concern for everyone, not just in the United States, but here in Australia as well. For those uninitiated, the big news out of the US this week is the revelations that their national security agency is in cahoots with the CIA and a number of other intelligence agencies, working with some of the world's biggest tech companies on a sort of a surveillance intelligence style information collection. So everything that people are doing and saying is being looked at, or potentially being looked at. Some of the problems with that are, obviously privacy concerns, people who are honestly doing nothing wrong, and, are they looking at things outside of their jurisdiction? For example, when the US is looking at a conversation between a citizen of the United States and an Australian, are they, in fact, overstepping the mark by monitoring the Australian as well? So it conjures up some very interesting points. What do you guys think?
There's a security pact between the US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia and the UK where they share information.
The Five Eyes, yep.
The biggest concern of mine is when this was brought up that they were actually getting things like live chat from Facebook, logging that material, the NSA was. Our government, when asked, what do we know about this and what are we doing about it, has essentially gone, well, we can't say because it's a security issue.
But, I mean, does the government really care if you're having an affair with someone else?
No, but the fact is our government seems quite happy to let a foreign power hack our internet data and has no opinion whether it's good or bad, just that it's secret.
The other very interesting thing about it is that all of the big tech companies have come out and said, no, we have not given the government direct access to our servers. I saw a theory on how this might actually be being done.
Yeah.
And what they're saying is that the NSA may very well have gotten hold of the SSL certificates for many of these big tech companies.
Yeah.
And as a result, as the traffic passes through on the internet through certain bottlenecks like San Francisco and New York and so on, they're actually splitting the signal out using optical fibre splitters.
Yeah.
And then using those SSL certificates, they can decrypt all of that traffic.
Yeah.
So that could be absolutely true. It might well be that Google and Twitter and everybody else have not given them direct access. They're just cracking through the encryption.
To my mind, Twitter was the only one that said, no, we haven't. A lot of the others have remained very quiet and haven't said anything about it.
Or saying that they're taking part, but they're reluctantly doing so.
Yeah, and the great quote of the week was from Obama, who said, if you can't trust us, who can you trust?
Who can you trust?
And
no one.
And this plays into the hands of the Alex Joneses of the world, and the nutbags, and gives them more firepower for just creating crazy stuff.
It looks like we've got another Julian Assange on our hands potentially as well, with the initial whistleblower hiding out in Hong Kong potentially and looking at, trying to flee to Iceland.
Has left his hotel room because clearly he doesn't want anybody knowing where he is, which is probably understandable.
Totally understandable.
Now, Candice, tell us about this wedding debt. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, it seems when you've got enough money, you can pretty much do almost anything you like, including destroying a section of very endangered, very precious redwood rainforest. Well, that's exactly what Facebook billionaire Sean Park has done for his $4.5 million, absolutely, in my opinion, tacky-as wedding, which was described as a fusion between Game of Thrones, Avatar, and Lord of the Rings. So you can see some of the pictures there behind me. The Californian government is now chasing him for $2.5 million to try and repair or restore some of the damage done to that forest when they set up their imitated castle, or for lack of a better word, and garnish the trees with all sorts of nails and flowers and decorations. But apparently this section of forest will never be able to be restored to the extent that, that it should be, which is all quite sad, really. Another thing that is very bad that we don't condone here on the show at all is drink driving, and here's a brand new ad that you should take a look at.
Sure, how much effect women headbutting mirrors in the men's toilets is going to have an effect on me and whether or not I drink drive.
I don't know, maybe the scare factor and the elevated heart rate will make you go, oh, yeah, okay, I won't do that.
I won't drink drive, or otherwise that woman might headbutt that mirror again.
Once again, though, I do wonder, if you're somebody who is prepared to take that kind of risk, how much effect is that kind of thing going to have on you anyway?
Just wanted to point out the ice cream guy on Twitter has just said, hey, WTV Buzz, is Jason Jordan or Cooksphere Mr. Buzzy? What does that mean? It's only just come in. I haven't had time to think it through yet. What does Mr. Buzzy mean?
When I think of Mr. Buzzy, I just think of something that, a lady has in her top drawer.
Moving right along. Now, you've found a very cool website for us.
You may remember there's a guy called David Firth some years ago that created a TV character called Salad Fingers. Who, when you watch his videos, take you off on an acid trip, but you don't need to actually have anything. You can just watch this and you're in another dimension. And I thought I'd revisit Newgrounds and have a look at this particular website that spurred a lot of this creative internet content using Flash and animation. And it's still there. It's still very interesting. There's still a lot of stuff worth checking out. So go and have a look at newgrounds.com. If you want to find just some interesting stuff to help you pass the time. It's probably for the younger generation. If you're a little bit older, somewhere you might like to go that's a little bit different is called Daily Inspirations, where coolthingshappen.com.
Where cool things happen. That'd be here on the set of The Buzz.
Absolutely. So you're sitting in the office, you're looking out your window and seeing nothing but a cloudy day. You can go to where coolthingshappen.com and go, oh, I don't know, cool places. What are some cool places to go and have a look at? Categories, let's have a look at 10 incredible cloud formations.
Oh, Candace is going to like this.
Oh, hold up.
And hence why she's like weather porn.
Hence why we've gone this one. And it is. Clouds, clouds, they're boring. But if you have a look at some of the clouds you can see around the world, you go,
look at that,
Lord.
Mammotus clouds.
Looks like God's just put a fluffy blanket on planet Earth.
Booby clouds.
This one looks like an alien convoy flying over some
You do realise that you're working Candace up into a lather over there.
I'm quite enjoying this, thank you very much. Quite enjoying the, yes, you get all wispy.
Candace gets about 5 pictures down before it lights out.
That's it.
But it is fabulous, and there's lots of different genres and different things to look at. It's called Where Cool Things Happen.com.
Time for us to go back to Candace now. Candace, are you sufficiently chilled out? Can you do this next bit?
Still feeling a bit worked up, but let's see how we go. Well, we've got diesel cars and we've got petrol cars and we've got gas cars and we've got electric cars, but have you ever heard of a car fueled by social media? Well, that's exactly what some researchers in the United States have done, trying to convert tweets and Facebook likes and interactions into wattage so that they can drive this car powered by your Twitter activity using a hashtag or interacting with their handle. They've done really quite well. Within a week, they've travelled from Kansas to Washington, DC, and they say it's all to raise awareness about experiential learning and different ways that we can engage kids and get them interested in school and research and education in general. So, quite exciting. You can see more at minddrive.org. Now, the words big yellow duck were censored on Chinese media this week, and not the kind of phrase that we would expect. Though it's not an unusual time of year to see increased censorship in Chinese media, given that the Tiananmen Square massacre, I believe, was June the 4th. Well, why big yellow duck? Well, you can see in the picture behind us that a public art display in Hong Kong, which featured quite prominently a giant yellow duck, has been photoshopped or tweaked in a way to replace the famous Tank Man photograph, which was an integral part of the Tiananmen Square, sort of the communications around that. So as a result, the words big yellow duck have been censored from Chinese Weibo, which is their equivalent of the social media.
At least the Chinese are honest about it. They go, we're going to block that. So
that's it.
Yeah, to you.
You're gone.
And the people go, fair enough. They know what their government's going to do.
Well, so you might not be able to see any big yellow ducks coming lately, but you can certainly see that winter is coming.